denn die Sonne eine Blackbox? Ob man die Nacht abschaffen kann? Auf dem Uranus verschützt mit Schäfermonden rings umrannt. Ist denn die Sonne eine Blackbox? Ob man die Nacht abschaffen kann? Auf dem Uranus verschützt blendet. Mit Schäfermonden rings umrannt.
Weißer Schwan 92. Uranotypie. Zahl 92. Abgeschrägtes Dodekaeder. Platin-Transmutation. Uranus-Epsilon-Ring. Uranium 92. Weißer Schwan 92. Uranotypie. Zahl 92. Abgeschrägtes Dodekaeder. Platin-Transmutation. Uranus-Epsilon-Ring. Uranium 92. Weißer Schwan 92. Uranotypie. Zahl 92. Abgeschrägtes Dodekaeder. Platin-Transmutation. Uranus-Epsilon-Ring. Uranium 92.
I was pleasantly surprised when Fetiche invited me to investigate the Ursula Bogner archives and assemble a collection of her works for this volume of recordings. My delight was all the greater when, during my research, I came upon a cache of materials, tape recordings, notes, and graphic scores, which bring to light two previously unheard but overlapping aspects of Bogner's music: her experiments with tape manipulation and her use of the voice as a sound source. Auditioning these recordings, I heard music that was bold and playful. Music in which, to my ears, the raw spirit of exploration is pleasantly tempered by a tendency towards what one might call an emotive register. In particular, I was struck by the sheer variety of Bogner's work and the various ways the voice was utilized. In addition to more conventional modes of melodic and harmonic singing, I heard voices which are stretched, layered, and treated in order to become textures or to take on the tonal quality of other instruments. I found most intriguing two pieces, Jubiläum and Shepard Monde, where the apparent confluence of Bogner's tape and voice experimentation are most distinctly audible, with fragments of vocals looped into cyclical structures, forming rhythmic frameworks into which further elements are gradually introduced. Among the archive materials, I found no definitive evidence to either prove or disprove my suspicion that the voice heard in these pieces is Ursula Bogner's own. The recording notes, which accompanied some of the tapes, make no mention of any vocalist whatsoever. Nonetheless, despite the sometimes radical transformations to which it is subjected, the main voice heard throughout the 15-year period in which these pieces were made retains a certain timbral consistency, which suggested to me that it belongs to the same person. Playing a few excerpts from these recordings to Bogner's son Sebastian confirmed what I had surmised. It is indeed the composer's voice we are hearing. Possible exceptions may be the loops of doo-wop singing in Dor Melanor and the fragments of pop harmony vocals and liturgical chant which are cut up in Der Chor Der Oktaven. Yet voice was not the only material used by Bogner in her tape experiments. Indeed, the sound sources are as varied as their compositional functions. For instance, the repeating electric guitar motif of Trabant is accentuated by sped up, slowed down, and reversed versions of itself, and seems to me to elegantly mirror the two electronically treated and pure singing voices that it accompanies. Also remarkable is Illusorische Planeten, where severely processed percussion forms a jagged landscape onto which a choir of voices and electronic tones descend only to become entangled in the thistly environment before managing to lift off again. Elsewhere, we hear, among other things, piano trills, splashing water, wind, chimes, and orchestral strings, or, as in the second half of Nach Europa, a complex soundscape of presumably electronic origin which undergoes a range of metamorphoses through tape manipulation. Of particular interest are the recording notes that accompanied some of the tape reels from which these pieces are taken. These are printed forms intended to facilitate the work of studio engineers and archivists by providing space for technical information pertaining to recording and composition. Intriguingly, Ursula Bogner used these sheets not only for technical notes, but also to jot down fragmentary ideas, associations, and perhaps the sources of inspiration for the music on the tapes. The following are a few examples of her recording notes, along with a few of my own, entirely subjective, thoughts on their possible meanings. For De Planetarum Influxu, Bogner writes, mesmerization. Attempt to implement a fluidic structure. Does there exist a tonal equivalent of hypnosis? The reference seems to be to Franz Mesmer's theory of animal magnetism, a magnetic fluid supposedly found in the bodies of living beings. Experiments which attempted to channel this ethereal medium in order to cure various diseases led to the theory's ultimate discretization, but also contributed to the emergence of modern hypnotherapy. For Illusorische Planeten, she writes, Counter-Earth, hidden behind the sun. All is arranged antithetically, conditions for symmetry not possible, music of the ellipses. A reference to the counter-Earth? According to classical Greek astronomy, the planet Antikton was supposed to exist hidden behind the sun and act as a counterbalance to our own Earth. And could music of the ellipses be a pun on music of the spheres, the phrase adjusted to more accurately reflect astronomical reality? The notes for Uranotypie, Uranium-92, Platen transmutation, Uranus epsilon ring, White Swan 92, Uranotypie, uranyl ferricyanide. Uranium, discovered in 1789 by a Berlin chemist, was named after the then recently discovered planet Uranus. Bogner seems to be playing here with the number 92, the atomic number of uranium in the periodic table. Uranotypie and uranyl ferricyanide may possibly refer to the use of radioactive uranium in photographic printing processes in the late 19th century. The meaning of the white swan remains a mystery. For Trabant, the notes are, unlike duplicates fly away in unsteady orbits, satellites of the self. A subjective interpretation. Might the unlike duplicates be the looped variants of the guitar motif that forms the rhythmic and harmonic basis of this piece? Does the unsteady orbit represent the role of the voice in relation to the music? Does the self in satellites refer to the way Bogner here doubles and applies electronic treatments to her voice? The recording notes of Nach Europa, telescopic discovery of cyclopic descent, dim star, slower than the eye, to break through the clouds. This piece starts from a simple rhythmic motif and gradually builds up momentum by accumulating layers of harmonic texture until finally bursting forth into a swirling, dissonant and murky sound world. Heard in the context of the recording notes, the music suggests to me a journey to an eventual arrival at some obscure and distant world. And does not the sudden cutting out of the rhythm track halfway through sound uncannily like splashdown in some alien ocean? Audio liner notes produced and narrated by Andrew Peckler.